So to get started with restoring your tricycle or your old tricycles, you want to start by knocking off as much of the old rust as you can before you start really taking in removing the old paint and get it prepped for new paint. So I have a simple sponge pad with a sandpaper on it so that we can start working our way around the surfaces, knocking off as much of the loose old rust as we can. These sanding sponges come in handy because they allow you to apply even pressure while still allowing you to get around those curves nice and easy. I like to start from the top and work my way down to the bottom, just so that way all the dust falls down versus getting over where I need to go over and keep going over all the spots. Now you don't want to, well, depending on how you wish to restore the trike, you can do a complete restoration where you take everything apart, rebuild, or you can just simply make it look as good, clean it up so it looks newer and fun to ride. So today we are just going to clean it up and get ready for a coat of paint, because there's not a whole lot of physical damage to the trike that needs repair other than a light layer of surface rust and some scratch paint. Now we will be returning this to close to original colors, which will be red and white. So now you could use power tools to speed up the process of sanding, like a Dremel, a drill, even an angle grinder with a flapper disc on it. But for how small the trikes are and how tight some of the corners can be, sometimes it's just easier to break out the hand tools and just get that elbow grease going. So So what I'll do is we'll pause it here. For some of the really difficult spots, you want to get some metal sandpaper and just get in there with your fingers and just work it back and forth like the rear wheel here, where as you can see there's a buildup of rust on the inside of the wheel. Just kind of work that loose. Make sure that the rust is just surface rust and not right through the rim. If it's right through the rim, you will have to replace the wheel. But if it's just surface rust, you can just clean it up, another coat of paint, and you're good to go for another 40 years. Now, once you've done most of the sanding and you're getting prepped for your first coat of paint or primer, you need to decide whether you're going to go right down to the bare metal or just get it as clean as you can. So for today, we're just going to get it as clean as we can, as smooth as we can, and then prep for primer and paint. So again, just kind of take your sanding sponge and sandpaper, you go over all the surfaces, smooth out any high spots and rough up the paint to receive the primer.